welcome back to my channel. It's Pluto Talks here with yet another video. If this is your first time seeing my very pretty face, make sure you subscribe down below, hit that notification bell, and follow my social medias as well. If this is not your very first time seeing my face, you might know me from my main channel, Nyyamour. On that channel, I post more lifestyle content such as vlogs, day in the life, and I'm also about to start Vlogmas next month. So make sure that you guys stay tuned for all of that. But today we are starting our very first episode of the Wind Down. In this segment, we are going to be drinking our little wine, and I'm going to be telling you guys story times about my crazy life. So if you are of age, make sure you grab your wine as well. You know, if you don't drink, you know, roll you up something. And if you don't do either or you do both, get you some snacks because this is about to be some tea, okay? So without any further ado, let's get into episode 1 of The Wind Down. Okay, y'all. So this story time, as you can see by the title, we are going to be talking about how I got cheated on and I cheated back. And my mother got me caught up. So to give you guys some background information, we're going to name our main character Slender Man because he is tall and skinny. And we're going to also name our second character, we're going to name her Rambo, okay? So Slender Man and I met back when I was in 8th grade going into 9th grade. I was a freshly, you know, going into high school. And he was a junior at the time. Well, a sophomore going into junior year. We met through Instagram because we had like mutual followers, and I was on a live one day with one of our mutual followers, and we're just talking, and he was like commenting all over the live. And so after the live ended, he ended up DMing me, and I guess he saw that I was going to the high school because in my city we have like these high ranked high school type of deal, and so my high school was obviously #1. Yeah, clock that. Anyway, so the high school that I went to was like pretty prestige and high and hard to get into, and so he went there and he was like trying to act as like a big brother or mentor to me and give me advice, which I definitely appreciated because he definitely did give me some good advice coming into high school, because I had no clue what to like expect going to a school like that and stuff like that. And so the DM started off like that, you know, he saw that I was going to that high school. And so he was really being, you know, super nice, giving me some really good advice going into the new school and whatnot. And that's how it started. But we started to talk almost every day, started to get on FaceTime and just like that whole ordeal. And so over time, I think we both started to catch feelings for one another. And until one day he asked me to be his girlfriend. So now I'm his girlfriend, and about around that time, it was like a week in, and my mother planned this graduation trip for me and my little sister because I was graduating 8th grade, and my sister I think was graduating kindergarten if I'm not mistaken. And so this was a big deal for my mother. She wanted to give us a getaway, and this was our first time out of the country, so we went on a cruise. And if you've ever been on a cruise, you know that you can't really use your phone unless you buy that payment plan. And I was 13 at the time, so I didn't have the money for it. And my mother was like, you don't need it because you're going to have fun on the cruise. Mind you, after we became official, like immediately after, he made it such a big point that he went, say hi to the vlog, lay. She don't want to say hi, she want to lay next to me. But anyway, so I'm more like the vlog, the video, whatever. So immediately after we got together, he wanted to share passwords, which I saw as a green flag because I'm like, oh, okay, like, you know, he made it like this big thing that he wanted us to trust one another and like this whole thing. And so he was like, I'm gonna give you my Instagram password. And so I did the same. So we shared Instagram passwords, and not gonna lie, at first I started to get like a whole bunch of notifications from this one girl, and so I ended up asking him about it. I'm like, hey, like, you know, who is this and why are they constantly texting you this much, because they texting you more than I'm texting you. And he basically just told me straight up, like, you know, this is my ex, we're just friends now, we realized that we were not compatible and we just didn't go well together, and so they were just friends, which I took you know, into consideration, because I'm like, hey, he is being honest and upfront, and he did tell me that that's his ex. And so I'm like, I already got the man password, might as well trust him. And so I just took that and I was like, okay, like, cool, whatever. So then I started seeing messages from this second girl, and it was same consistency between the messages. And so I didn't even ask about it, because I'm like, hey, if he's sharing a password with me and he's already told me that he's still in communication with his ex and they're good friends, what do I, you know, need to be questioning him about this second girl? So I didn't even ask about the second girl. So anyways, back to this trip. I'm going on a trip, and he knows that I'm gonna be away for about 5 days. And like I said, if you've ever been on a cruise, you know that, like, if it's a 5-day cruise, most likely the first 2 days are days at sea. The third day is the day that you end up on the island or the destination, wherever you end up. And then the last 2 days is spent going back home. So he knew that the first 2 days I was not going to be in communication. First 2 days go by. It was really fun. The third day is when we ended up in Turks, because I went to Turks for my first cruise. So I'm in Turks, and immediately, as soon as I got like back on my phone, I saw a lot of notifications. Because like I said, I had his password, so now it's not just my Instagram notifications, but it's also his Instagram notifications that I'm receiving. And so it was just a whole bunch of messages from him to me, of course, you know, him saying that he missed me and everything like that. And then I'm also seeing a lot of messages from his page from girl number 2. So I'm seeing it, and I didn't think much of it, but I don't know what told me to like start clicking on the messages. I click on it, and I'm now starting to see like gaps in the messages, like as if he's unsending messages and deleting messages. So obviously alarms are going off in my head, because why do you feel the need to like start deleting messages? But I didn't confront him about it. I didn't say anything. I just let it be. And so throughout the whole day, mind you, I'm ziplining, doing my excursion. I was just having the time of my life, but I'm also, you know, keeping my eye out on my phone, because I'm like, something's weird about this and I need to pay attention. And so, you know, I'm just watching, paying attention, looking. And once, like, mind you, I'm still texting him at the same time. But once I started to see the messages being deleted, unsent, whatever, I started to really pay close attention. Luckily, I don't know if this still applies now, because, you know, Instagram is always making new updates and all this new shit that Instagram is adding. So I don't even know if this still exists or not. But luckily my phone was like closed and locked, like, you know, it was off. And I get a notification. Y'all, when I open my phone, it's a message from girl number 2 talking about, yeah, I'm not giving you head. Don't you have a girlfriend? Huh? So immediately I screenshot it, and I also went back to the messages to see if he deleted it, and he did. So I'm like, okay, got something for that ass. So I immediately text him, and y'all, this happened so long ago, so I don't know exactly like word for word or timelines exactly. So if my timelines are a little shaky, I'm not lying about the story. This 100% happened. He can confirm as well, because we're cool actually till this day. But anyway, so I ended up sending him the screenshot, and I'm like, what the fuck is, like, what is this? And he immediately makes up this sob story talking about, oh, I don't know if I can say this, so I'm gonna like kind of censor myself, but he basically said that she's suicidal and she's coming on to him, and so him trying to be nice, he's feeding into it. And in my head, I'm like,
see, on the sheet, if 2 + 2 is 4, right? And 5 + 5 is 10. Okay. What the fuck is this? I didn't see.
Like, literally, that's how I'm thinking. And I'm just like, so if she's coming on to you, then why is she saying, no, I'm not giving you, you have a girlfriend? How does that correlate? So we kind of get into it, but in conclusion, I forgave him. Don't know really why. My only explanation is that I liked him a lot, which I did. Like, I don't know why, but I liked him a lot, okay? So I ended up forgiving him, and I'm just like, you know, it is what it is. And y'all comment down below if y'all consider that cheating, because in my book, anything that you don't want your partner to see, hear, look at, experience, whatever, is cheating. And he obviously didn't want me to see it because he was unsending messages. Even if it wasn't physical cheating, even if it wasn't like, you know, him actually doing it, even though to this day I don't even know if it was done or not, but he said it wasn't. I do believe that part because he didn't have a car, none of that. So yeah, let's take a wine break. Y'all, it's a lot of dumb moments in this story time, so y'all can drag me in the comments, okay? I was a little dumb at this time. I was like 13, 14 at the time, so kill me. Kill me. I'm 22 now, so kill me. But anyway, so Slender Man is just begging me. He like, you know, don't break up with me. I'm sorry. Like, you know, I just miss you so much, which is a red flag in itself, because the moment that I'm not in your presence, I'm not in eyesight, I'm not texting you, I'm not calling you, is the moment that you look for that in somebody else. But anyway, let's move on. A couple months down the line now, I'm now in high school, so I'm a freshman, he's now a junior. I know the gap sounds crazy, but hey, you know what I'm saying? That's what happened, okay? So I'm a freshman, he's a junior, and y'all, when I tell y'all, immediately when I got into high school, I was low-key embarrassed of our relationship. I'm not gonna lie. Like, actually, if you guys do subscribe to my main channel, I actually have a story time of like why we broke up, and I kind of like got into detail about like the embarrassment that I felt. It was honestly because, like I said, the first part of our relationship, and before we even like consistently saw each other, because he did like see me a few times before we became official or whatever, but like I didn't go to school with him, and I didn't really like experience him in person that much. And so going to school with him versus us just texting was totally different. And so us being together at school, even though he was a couple grades higher than me, just being in his presence, like I really started to see how weird, awkward, geeky he was. And so it was kind of a turn off for me, because like no shade, you know what I'm saying, but it was just like the type that's like annoying. Like, physical touch is my love language, for example, but it was like with him, because he would annoy me so much, it was so overbearing for me, and so I didn't really like it. It was just like the shift from before to like us getting into high school. It was like I didn't really want nobody to know that I was dating him, like, honestly, because he was just like, everybody just knew him as the lanky weird boy. Like, I don't know how to explain it, even though, you know what I'm saying, I was dating him, so I shouldn't have felt like, you know, I was embarrassed to date him, and if I was embarrassed of dating him, I shouldn't have been with him. But it was just like, I don't know, I was young, and I liked him still, but it was still just like a thing where I'm like, I don't know. So we're gonna fast forward a little bit of time to about maybe October, still in my freshman year. This is when I started to really get involved in school, and he would literally stay over, like stay after school with me as I was like going to, because I was on the step team, and I was also on the track team, excuse me, and stuff like that. And so I would always still be at school after school hours, and he would literally just sit there and wait for me, and then catch the bus with me to go home and everything together, which was cute, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so around this time, I want to say this was like the spam era. Like, if y'all remember that era where people would always do those "can I get a piece of your love" edits and stuff like that, like, you know, the messy edits and all of that. This was the era that I'm talking about. Like, everybody and their mother had a spam, okay? So I had a spam, and I was you know, just following hella random spams, like, even if I didn't know them, but it was mostly people from the city. Like, it wasn't nobody like outside of my city, but it didn't mean that I personally knew them, you know. So I remember following this one girl in particular, and she was a gay femme girl. Like, she was so pretty. Like, to this day, she's still pretty. I still follow her spam, actually. But, you know, that we followed each other. And so one random day, I get a follow request from this joint spam. Because everybody used to have a joint spam, group spam, just like a whole bunch of shit. Like, it was just a whole bunch of stuff. So it was a joint spam between the girl and Rambo, our second character. So I get a follow request from this page, and you know me, I'm just accepting and following all the spam pages. So I just ended up accepting and following them back. Not even an hour into me following them back, I get a DM from this very page, and it's Rambo. I don't remember exactly verbatim how the conversation went, but I just remember Rambo asked me, "You gay?" And I replied, I was like, "No, but I am bi." And you know, Rambo's low-key flirt. Well, it wasn't, at first it didn't give a flirty vibe. Like, it was more so a thing where Rambo was just like, "Oh, you're pretty, you want to play." Everybody used to want to play iMessage games. It's kind of starting to come back to me, y'all. So if I'm starting to like have like revelations as I'm talking, that's why. But I remember because Rambo was like, "Oh, can I get your number? I want to play 8-ball," or something like that. And me, I was a iMessage game type of, like, I wanted to play iMessage games with everybody during school, after school, at home. Just, I wanted to play iMessage games all the time. And so I'm like, hell yeah, I'm ready to fuck you up with some 8-ball. So I ended up giving her my number, and we ended up texting. And at first the texts were just iMessage games, but like it slowly became a thing where she was low-key starting to like come on to me, just little by little though. Like, we would be playing and I'll send a message like, "Yeah, I'm fucking you up," or something. Like, I don't know, I would just say like little stuff in between the games or whatever, and she would say little stuff like, "Oh, like, follow me on your main." And I followed her. She was like, "You look so good," like, just like saying little things. Another detail that I forgot to mention, y'all, this is very, very important for the story. So around this same time, I ended up getting a new phone, and so did my mother. We both upgraded around this time. I think it was like around my birthday now, because my birthday is in November. So me and my mother, we ended up upgrading our phones, and for some odd reason, like, I was getting some of her contacts, she was getting some of mine, I was getting some of her texts, she was getting some of mine. And this went on for like maybe a couple of weeks, because we just could not understand why our stuff and information was like merging between both of our phones. Anyways, now we're getting back to me and Rambo's texts. So, you know, she's saying these little things, and one time my mother was like, "Who is this?" Because she saw like a flirty type of text. I don't remember specifically what Rambo said, but it was like something flirtatious that was said to me. And my mother was like a little concerned, because she's like, "Who's this?" and stuff like that, because I also wasn't supposed to be texting boys either. So she didn't know if it was a boy or a girl that I was texting, because it was flirtatious types of messages coming through. And so I'm just like, "Oh, it's just a friend, it's Rambo, blah blah blah," whatever. Left it alone. So now some time is going by, and Rambo and I are still constantly texting, and it became a thing where I was like, "Oh, like, my phone is acting up, let's talk on iMessage. Let's talk on Instagram." We would get on FaceTime here and there, but it was very, very inconsistent with FaceTime, because she would want to text me late at night, and I had a strict bedtime when I was younger. Like, I don't know why, but my little sister, she don't have no strict ass bedtime. But at the time, y'all, like, my parents did not play. I had to be in bed by 9 p.m. And Rambo, I don't know, like, her parents would just let her be up. I don't know, y'all, but she would want to text me at all, text and call me and FaceTime me at all times of the night. And I would just have to like sneak on my phone and whisper, because I didn't want my mother to hear me, or my stepfather to hear me, or just anybody. So like when we would get on the phone, it would be very, very rare, and it would be very, very like, I'm trying to be quiet type of thing. But anyway, so back to Slender Man. At this same time that this is happening, I'm literally telling him what's going on. Like, I did not hide, well, after a certain point I did start to hide it, but in the beginning stages, once Rambo was coming on to me, giving me flirty type of energy, I was letting Slender Man know, like, you know, it's this girl texting me, because he also knew that I was bi. And so I was just like, you know, low-key, just, I don't know what my purpose of me telling him, but now my older mind is thinking maybe I just wanted to make him jealous because of the cheating that he did in the past to me and all of that. And so I wanted to kind of give him a sense of, yeah, nigga, I can get people too. Like, I can have people on my line too. And so I was just like, you know, like, not bragging about it, but more so just letting him know. Like, I'm just like, yeah, this girl texted me, and I was just showing him the messages like, yeah, she want me and she on my body. And he just like, yeah. Like, I don't think he was taking it seriously because it was a girl. But fast forward, and maybe a month into me and Rambo consistently talking, because we were still playing our message game, still getting on FaceTime here and there, still texting, Rambo ended up asking me out on a date. And so I don't remember when this was, but I think I actually have a picture of the same day in my archives on my Instagram. I'm about to try to find it real quick. Dang it, I don't have the picture, y'all. I wish I had the picture, because I vividly remember this day. So anyway, let me just go. I want to back up before I get too ahead of myself. But so Rambo ended up asking me on a date. She was like, can we go to the movies and go to Fridays and, you know, all like that, whatever. So I'm like, yeah, like, why not? So how I made this happen is that same day is so crazy, because that same day Slender Man came over my house, because my mother would let him come over, but of course it was under her supervision. Like, we would just sit in the living room or the dining room / kitchen, and we would just, you know, hang out, whatever. He would just come over here and there. I would just ask if he could come over and stuff like that, and we would hang out at my house. And that same day he came over and we were sitting in the kitchen, but I told my mother at a certain time that my friend had a birthday dinner or party or whatever at the mall that we were going to. And I just asked if, you know, she could drop me off, because if I was to tell her I had a date with a girl, she would have killed me, okay? So I ended up telling my mother, hey, like, you know, my friend is having his birthday celebration. Can you drop me off, basically, and I can hang with them? So she of course says yes, because she like, you know, and then asks what time and who it is and all this good stuff. So now that that's in effect, he comes over, we chilling, and the whole time I'm just thinking like, damn, I'm ready to cheat on this man. I don't even know, like, I just was like, dang, like, he just don't know. He just don't know. But the craziest part about it, y'all, before we left out, he took my pictures. That's why I wanted to put the pictures on the screen, because it was so crazy that I had him take my pictures, because I wore this dress. I don't remember what it said. It was a black dress. I don't remember what it said on the size of the dress, but it was like, I mean, it was yellow and black, like strip across the side. It was a cute dress. It was like a bodycon dress, and I wore these Puma shoes, I think, or something like that. But I was cute that day, and I had him take my pictures right before my date. Excuse me. So anyways, now it's time for us to leave out, and my mother, she drove both of us, because, you know, after she dropped me off, she was going to drop him off home. So we're in the car, and soon as we pull up, he try and hug up on me, be up on me, try and kiss me and all that. I was not having it, because I'm like, I don't know where Rambo at, but she told me that she was there. And so I'm like, I don't want her to be outside, because then my mother gonna be like, who is that? So she was like standing inside of the movie theater, like in the, I guess, vestibule area, like, you know, the entrance. And so I didn't know where she was. So I'm like, if she see me hugged up on this boy, she can be like, who that, who this, whatever. So I literally did not really want to hug him. Like, I was just like trying to give him a little 1-2 so it didn't look too crazy because he literally got out the car and I'm like, yo, he's tall as I don't know what, so he's obviously drawing attention, and I'm not trying to, you know, make it known that I have a man while I'm about to go on a date. I don't know, like, yo, I'm so freaking crazy. Like, I be putting myself in so many situations, okay? But anyway, we do a little phony hug and I depart from everybody. So now I'm in there with Rambo, and apparently it was a double date because her little sister was also there with her boyfriend. So we get in there, you know, Rambo pays for my ticket. She like, how you doing? We all hugged up and whatnot, right? We get into the movie. I couldn't even tell you what movie it was, y'all. I really could not, because Rambo was trying to touch and feel on me, kiss on me and all that, and we was kissing a little bit because I'm like, hey, like, you know, you cute. Like, she had the cutest dimples, and I think people with dimples are the cutest things ever, y'all. I don't know, like, but, you know, she was smooth talking me, you know, we kissing, blah, 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 whatever. Cool. Right? So around this time after the movie, my phone is dying low-key. Like, it wasn't all the way dead, but it's probably like on 30%. So we get to Fridays. Now it's me and Rambo and the sister and her boyfriend sitting across from us in a booth. We chilling, getting our food. I don't even remember, like, literally it's been so long, so I couldn't even tell y'all what we got, what we ate, what we drank, whatever. We eating, chilling. Rambo now wants to take videos with me, so she opens up my phone on my Snapchat, y'all. I don't know why she didn't do it on her phone or whatever. Mind you, my phone is gonna die soon, but she's taking videos in my phone, and we kissing in the videos, like tongue kissing, like we kissing in the videos, y'all. I don't know why I let this girl do that, but me and Rambo, we kissing, you know, doing our little 1-2, whatever. Now she goes to save the video and she sends it to herself on iMessage. And y'all remember what I told y'all from earlier, right? About how for some reason it wasn't all of our messages and all of our contacts, but it would be like select few messages and stuff like that that would like merge. So my mother would be receiving some of my messages. And so it didn't click for me until she pressed send. And y'all, like, at this time, it was probably, what, 2019? So our message wasn't as advanced as it is now. So the unsend option wasn't there. It wasn't no delete option so that she couldn't see it on her end. I could delete it on my end, but she's still going to receive the text. So soon as she hits send on the phone and sends it to herself, bro, I'm like, fuck. I am fucked. I'm fucked. I'm about to die. And to make matters worse, she saves her number in my phone as Big Daddy. I don't know what that was about, but she just all in my phone, y'all. And me, I'm just letting it happen. Because, mind y'all, I also had to delete messages from me and Slender Man because I don't want her to know that I got a man. So it's a lot of going on right now. And so I'm also hoping and praying that she don't see no like videos of me and Slender Man in my phone, or, you know, any messages between us, or hopefully he don't text me while I'm on this date. Like, I was fighting for my life the whole date, y'all. So we end up leaving dinner or whatever, pay for our food, cool. We end up walking around the mall because, you know, it was still kind of early. I mean, it was probably like 8 o'clock, something like, I don't really remember. But like I said, my phone was dying. So I end up, I don't know what time it was, but we're in the mall and Rambo's in the store, and I think her sister was in the store, and me and the boyfriend was still in the hallway of the mall. I get a call from my mother. No, I get a text from my mother at first. And she like, I'm on my way to get you right now. I'm like, oh my God, I'm fucked. I'm like, oh my God, she knows. She knows. She has to know because she had to get that message from Rambo that she sent to herself through my phone. So I'm like, yo, oh my God, my mother saw the message. I'm about to die. I'm about to die, RIP. But of course, I can't tell Rambo and her sister and them that I'm in trouble. So I'm like, oh, my mother on the way, and she gonna be mad if I'm not where we need to be when she come and get me, right? So I'm losing my mind. Like, the whole time I'm trying to stay upbeat and happy because everybody, they don't have a clue in the fucking world.
They don't got a clue in the fucking world.
They have no clue of what's going on. And I'm just over there like, yo, I'm praying to myself like, I hope this is not why. Because she didn't specifically say what it was. But she was like, where the fuck you at? I'm on my way right now. So I mentally, I just knew. But I didn't want to believe it. But anyway, so we're running literally. Like, I'm like, my mother is about to meet us at the movie theater. Because in my head, I'm thinking maybe she wants to pick me up from the same place that she dropped me off. Even though she knew that we ended up going to Fridays after. But I'm just like, we got to get where we started, okay? So we're literally running through the mall. I'm like, my mother's going to kill me because she don't know that. I mean, she want me to be where I'm gonna be at. They don't know that I'm in trouble because of that. You know what I'm saying? So we running, and we get back to the theater. And Rambo is like touchy-feely crazy, like, and I'm like, yo, this is not the time. Like, in my head, I'm going crazy, like, and I don't know how they didn't pick up on that because I would, like, my heart was beating through my chest and I just was like out of it. Like, I'm just like, and here go Rambo.
Yeah, I'ma miss you. Yeah, like, text me when you get home and I had a good time.
Girl, this is not the time. Back up, Rambo. Back up, because I'm about to crash out. I'm about to crash out right now. My mother gets to Fridays because, like I said, she knew that we were going to the movie on Fridays, so I guess she assumed that we were going to be at Fridays. She pulls up at Fridays and she called me and she like, Destiny, where are you? Where are you at? And I'm like, I'm at the movie theaters. I'm at the movie theaters. So she like, all right, whatever. She pulls up, and when I tell you Rambo trying to give me a kiss goodbye and all that, I'm just like, bye, y'all. See y'all later. I get in the car. Look at Lay. Hold on, y'all. Wine break. I get in the car, and I was expecting for my mother to ask for my phone. Gladly she didn't straight off back because it was my mother and my stepfather in the car. My mother was driving and my stepfather was in the passenger. And when I tell you, soon as I sat my behind in that back seat, my mother was on that. I don't remember specifically, but she was just calling me all types of y'all. Like, when I tell you, I was like, yo, what? She was like, you out here with this little girl, you kissing all up on her, you cheating on... I was ready to say his name. Yo, I was ready to say his name. She was like, you cheating on Slender Man and all he's been is sweet to you? How could you do that to him? What? In my head, well, my mother, she didn't know that he cheated on me because, like, I just didn't feel the need to share that because it was only a week into our relationship, 1. And 2, knowing my mother, she do not deal with cheaters, liars, none of that. And so if I was to tell her, she would have made me break up with him. Like, type of person she is, she'd be like, no, like, I don't like him for you, like, you don't need to be dating him. And like I said, the reason why I took him back in that instance because I liked him a lot. And so that's why she didn't know that he cheated on me in the first place. And so in my head, I'm like, you just don't know. You have no clue in the fucking world. You have no clue in the fucking world. You don't know what this boy did to me. You don't know, okay? But she just preaching about, you know, I don't like cheaters. Your father cheated on me. I'm not my father, Bookie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not him. But she just going off. Like, when I tell y'all, from the moment that she picked me up, mind you, the ride from where we were to our house was probably like a 20-minute drive. So when I tell y'all, the entire ride, she ain't even played the radio. The whole ride, she just, meh. You did this, you did that, you wrong, blah, blah, blah. So finally, and my stepfather, he just like, yeah, you not, like, he wasn't saying too much, but he was in the passenger seat just like,
yeah, like, you did wrong for that, and you shouldn't have did that to that boy. He a sweet boy.
And in my head, I'm just like, y'all just don't know. Y'all don't know. Y'all have no clue, bruh. Y'all don't know. So as soon as I thought I was in the clear, y'all. We pull up to the house. Well, no, she didn't even take the phone from me. But my stepfather gets out the car and my mother cussing me out even harder. Because, like, she do be trying to, like, well, they not together no more. But she did try to like censor herself a little bit in front of him, because he would be telling her like, chill, you know, don't get on her too bad, don't get on them too bad. But she was going in once he went in the house, because I don't know why he did that. I was so mad. I'm like, yo, you leave me in the car with her, she gonna kill me, she gonna kill me. But anyway, so he leaves the car and she just going off on me, going off on me, going off on me. Cool. I'm thinking everything cool for the night, because after that, no, I'm lying. She took my phone once we got in the house, and she saw the contact of Rambo. And she's like, Big Daddy. Big Daddy. Like, she was disgusted. She was disgusted. And I didn't even do that. That's the thing. Like, I did try. I was like, she did that. She wrote that. She put that in my phone. She ain't trying to hear none of that, okay? She's already in that mode. She's already mad at me. So anything that I say or do, it's just one ear out the other. So she ends up FaceTiming this girl. FaceTiming her. My mother's crazy, y'all. Like, she calmed down now. Like, now she the cool mother. Like, I don't know. But anyway, so she ends up FaceTiming Rambo, y'all. And as soon as Rambo answer, she like, oh, you my daughter girlfriend? So obviously, Rambo is taken aback and she hangs up. So my mother calls back. And this time, Rambo's dad answered the phone, y'all. She calls back. Rambo's dad answered the phone, and he's like,
hello, who's this?
She's like, oh, I'm Destiny's mother, and I was just trying to figure out, is this her girlfriend? And so he like,
no, they just friends. They just friends.
So they hang up. And I'm just like, thank God for Rambo's father. Thank God for Rambo's father. Even though that didn't help the situation. But so my mother like, oh, so this your girlfriend. This your girlfriend. But she let me slide for the night. She gave me my phone back, thankfully. And I'm thinking everything is cool. I'm thinking everything is okay. So I end up texting Rambo. I'm like, I'm sorry about that. My mother just didn't, like, I don't even remember what I said, but I got myself out of that, because Rambo was like, you know what's cool? I had a good time with you, and you tasted good, and all this freaky stuff, right? So I'm just like, yeah, like, I had a good time too, and I'm sorry about that. Like, my mother was geeking and da-da-da-da, right? So my dumb self didn't hide the phone. I didn't hide the phone. I didn't delete the evidence. I didn't do none of that. So I'm going to sleep thinking that everything cool, everything straight. I go to bed, y'all. Wake up to my mother tapping me. She like, get the fuck up and meet me in the basement right now. I'm like, I thought it was over. Yo, when I tell y'all I thought it was over, no. It's never over. I think it was still on her mind that same night, y'all. My phone has disappeared from my charger, because I had it. So the way my bedroom was set up back then, it was like my door and then my closet. My bed was facing this way. My dresser and like the plug, my TV on the wall. My plug was right here. And then my phone was like, my plug was like really long, so my phone was on the charger, but it was like really close to my bed on the floor. If that makes any sense. I'm trying to like give y'all a visual, but if it don't make sense, then it don't make sense. But so I'm laying there, and that's how I went to bed. I wake up, I look down, my phone is gone. I'm like, yo, she saw my phone and went through my phone. And my mother back then, she was the type that needed my password, because she would do random phone checks, y'all. She would like just rent, like, I wasn't allowed to have Instagram up until I was in, I think, 7th grade. I don't really even remember, but I was not allowed to have Instagram. Snuck Instagram a couple of times, and she would catch me up every single time, y'all. But Either way, I was cooked. I was fried, actually. So I wake up, I'm dreading going downstairs. I brush my teeth and I'm just like, yo, I'm about to fucking die. Go in the basement, because mind you, it's early and it's like the crack of dawn. It's probably like 7 a.m., probably even 6 a.m. I really don't remember, but it was really, really early. So my stepfather was still asleep and my little sister was still asleep. So that's why she wanted me to go in that damn basement so she could yell at me. Go down to the basement and she's sitting on the couch with my phone in hand and she reading me back the messages from last night and beyond that between me and Rambo. And she like, oh, I'm geeking, because I was like, my mother geeking, blah, 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 whatever. She like, oh, I'm geeking. Then she like, oh, you tasted good, so she was eating your cuckoo. I'm like, chill. The movies ain't even gonna let all that happen. Like, I don't know, people do be doing that, but she ain't do all that now. But we was kissing and she might have had a little feel down there, whatever. But she wasn't eating nothing, okay? She wasn't eating nothing, okay? But she just reading back all the, and I'm just embarrassed because mind you, at the same time she's on the phone with my godmother, and my godmother is co-signing everything too. She like, yeah, if you gay, just say that. If you gay, just say it. Like, they was acting like being gay was a crime, y'all. Like, I don't know, but the real issue was because I cheated on Slender Man. But so she just like, oh, so just reading back everything. So long story short, she ended up making me delete my spam page. I now have a new spam. Like, the spam that I have now, I've had since after that. Like, I made a new spam after that and all that good stuff. But y'all, when I tell you I was cooked, fried even, she like, you gotta delete this in my face right now. Not disable it, or what's the thing where you don't fully delete the page, but you kind of like, is it disabling it or something? I don't know, but she was like, don't disable the page, delete the page. Like, the page has to be erased completely. And so I literally had to delete the page in her face. And yeah, deleted the page or whatnot, but that's not the end of it. She took my phone and told me that I was punished for like a month. I don't really remember how long it was, but it was the extended amount of time. And I used to stay punished, y'all. Like, when I tell y'all, on my punishment, I would get punished for even longer time. I don't even know what I used to do. I was not a bad kid. Like, I genuinely don't even know what half my punishments were for. I just used to stay on punishment. Like, y'all, I used to have it bad, okay? But anyway, so she tells me I'm punished for a month. I can't have my phone, but little did she know I had my iPad, okay? But this was like a really, really old iPad. Like, y'all remember those iPads with the real wide charger? That's the type of iPad that I had, and it was slow. It didn't really, you know, do much justice for me. But I had 1,000 pages. I still do have 1,000 pages. So I ended up immediately texting Rambo on Instagram through my other page. She didn't even follow that page, but I ended up texting her and I'm like, sent her this whole paragraph about my mother took my phone, I'm in trouble, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. But she cut me to the chase, because as soon as I sent that, she sends me a screenshot of a freaking paragraph that my mother sent to her. I don't remember if she sent it on iMessage or Instagram, but either way, my mother sent this girl a freaking paragraph and really put me on the spot talking about, yeah. To sum it up, I don't remember, but she basically, like, she sent me the whole paragraph. She was like, yeah, this is Destiny's mom, just to let you know she had a boyfriend the whole time, and that's the reason why I was upset. Just basically just telling her what it was, y'all. Wine break. Oh, my mother snitched on me. And not only did she snitch on me to her, but then she snitched on me to Slender Man. She sent him another paragraph telling him that I cheated on him. Y'all, what When I tell y'all, I was so mad at my mother, yo. I was like, yo, why would she do that? She messing up my motion. She messed up my motion, y'all. Like, I really could have had both of them. I had both of them. Mind you, Slender Man was still doing all the stuff, buying me stuff, taking me out, all this, and Rainbow was doing the same. So it's like, you just messed up my motion. But they both wanted me at the end of the day still. They still wanted to talk to me. But I don't know what I said, but I got in Rainbow's good graces. And I basically was just telling her, like, you know, I was in the process of breaking up with Slender Man. So, you know, we was already having problems. He cheated on me and da-da-da. But then, you know, she was, like, having some pushback. Because she, like, so I was the rebound. I'm the rebound. And I'm just like, no, like, you know, I just couldn't bring myself to break up with him because he was, you know, into my family. My family knew him and all this. Not like, y'all, when I tell y'all, I was lying through my teeth. Lying through my teeth, y'all. And I still got them both back, even though, you know, now to this day, I'm not with them, either one of them. But when I tell y'all, that was like that was just the craziest situation I ever been in. But long story short, I was still with Slender Man even after that. Like, even after my mother sent all that, I was still with him. Like, me and him were still dating. And like I said, if you subscribe to my main channel, you guys know how the relationship ended, because he ended up cheating on me again on his birthday. And I walked out on a date on his birthday. But that's not really part of this story, so I'm not really going to get into it. But we were still together even after this. So yeah, that's pretty much sums up the story. After that is history, honestly. But if you guys enjoyed this story time as much as I enjoyed telling it, make sure that y'all give me a subscribe down below. And subscribe to my main channel, because like I said, Vlogmas is coming. And I'm not doing everyday Vlogmas. That's a little crazy. But I am going to be doing a weekly Vlogmas where I do a week in the life. And then that'll be my Vlogmas of the week. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how you enjoyed the video, the craziest part of the story. And tell me if you guys have any similar stories as well. But I'm out. Bye.
Trust in me. I can't. You said